scores!
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back here to Big Boy Arena, where the building is small and the music is loud. It's $5 ticket night, so maybe we can get some of these seats filled. I'm Will Wiggleman here with the Port Huron Prowlers on the PHP Network. It should be a good one, another battle of I-94 tonight as the Prowlers lead that season series by a score of 5-1. Port Huron wins both games this weekend. They'll at the very least earn a split in the season series, and still a few more weekends to go as we're about just past the midway point of the season for both of these teams. Well, let's take a look at the last game for both of these sides, and we start with the Rockers, who lost the opposite of a barn burner. I guess the barn not on fire. Is that what you, if that's what you call it? Anyway, 1-0. They fell to the Danbury Hat Tricks on Saturday night. Dylan Hullaby with his first goal as a hat trick, the only goal in that game. Eli Rivers missed on a penalty shot as Connor McCullum stopped all 44 shots he saw. He stopped 65 of 66 over the two-game weekend. Rockers only score one goal over the weekend. They lost 6-1 on Friday night. So one goal in two games for Motor City as Ricky Gonzalez makes 56-plus saves for the third straight start, but he was put inactive this week. Hat Tricks win that season series by a score of 4-3. Prowlers last weekend continued their hot streak as they have won all four of the meetings they've faced against the Mississippi Seawolves so far this season. One more game between these teams coming up later on this season. 4-2 the final on Saturday night. Austin Federley with a Gordie Howe hat trick, goal and assist, and he fought Ross Bartlett. Tucker Scantleberry, a couple of helpers. Matt Graham, a couple of goals, and Yoshi gets the win between the pipes. And really the story of that game was Mississippi scoring to tie it up, but then it was called back because earlier in the sequence, and I still don't know why they didn't blow it dead when this happened. I think the referees just didn't know where the stick came from. A stick was thrown from the Seawolves bench onto the ice in the middle of play. And again, I think the referees just didn't know where the stick came from. They may have thought that a player dropped it, so they just picked it up and kept it moving, which, fair enough, that could happen. I don't blame the referees at all. It's just a little surprising. From my vantage point, I could see the entire ice that they didn't blow it dead. But either way, the goal got called back, which is absolutely the right call. Prowlers ended up on a power play. They scored to make it 3-1 at that point, and they end up winning it by a final of 4-2. Their 5th straight victory, and that rockets them into 2nd place in the Empire Division as the Binghamton Black Bears swept the Watertown Wolves last weekend. It's the highest the Prowlers have sat in the Empire Division this season. 1 point up on Watertown now. Of course, the Wolves with 3 games in hand, but a good place for the Prowlers to be. And of course, things getting tight for those 2, 3, and 4 spots, and that's a big race as of course the 2 and the 3 will play each other, and you want home ice advantage for that matchup. But the 4 seed will have to play against the 5 seed in each division in a play-in game. So the Prowlers certainly do not want to be part of that play-in game. They'll try and stay above. Right now, Danbury and Motor City would play in that play-in game if the season ended tonight. And the Rockers kind of on an island there in 5th place, 9 points up on the Venom for the last playoff spot and 10 points back of Danbury. Well, the Rockers getting a player back who was with them last season this week. Nick Gullo traded to the Rockers on Wednesday. He was inactive, was playing with Peoria, 4 games, 1 goal with the Rivermen in the SPHL. He split last season between the Elmira River Sharks and the Rockers, 13 points in 24 games with Motor City. Began this year with the Dashers, 14 points in 17 games. And after he became active again, he was then traded over to the Rockers, and he'll certainly be a welcome presence back in that lineup. Well, welcome presence in the Prowlers lineup has been Jamie Bussell. Got off to a bit of a slow start offensively, but he's certainly found his groove. He's played 14 games with the Prowlers, which is the same number he played with Binghamton this season. 12 points in the 14 games with Port Huron. After 4 with the Black Bears, he's had a bigger role here with Port Huron. He's a power play guy, and again, he has certainly picked things up as of late, a consistent point getter, and has found a lot of success on that line with Austin Federley and Tucker Scantleberry. He has been their center for these past few weeks. As we take a look at the lineup for the Prowlers tonight, and indeed Bussell staying there, not too much changing up front, except Kenny Stiles has been activated off the IR. He'll play alongside Matt Graham and Alex Johnson, which makes Luke James the extra forward tonight, and Isaiah Paris is your only scratch. Prowlers had to get back down to 19 players on their active roster, so they released Nikita Petrovitsin earlier today after activating Stiles, and Adam Heinzel, who slots back in on the 3rd defense pairing along with Ludwig Thelstrom. The Brockenlock pairing, Brian Parsons and Tristan Sims staying together, and Heinzel and Thelstrom, of course, on that back end. And up front, we mentioned Alex Johnson with Matt Graham and Kenny Stiles. Johnson playing in his 300th game as a Port Huron Prowler tonight, the 3rd player to reach that mark in franchise history. And he's playing game 300 as he played game number 1 as a forward. Of course, he switched back to defense back in the 2017-18 season. That's where he's played most of this year, although he has moved up over the past couple of weeks. This will be his 5th game as a forward this season. Valtteri Nusiainen back between the pipes for the Prowlers. We'll give you the numbers on him coming up shortly as they continue the pregame ceremonies here in Fraser. As you see, the Prowlers have hit the ice. Let's give you the Orthopedic Associates starting lineup for the Port Huron Prowlers tonight. It will be the top line of Stephen Deasy, Joel Frazee, and Reggie Millette up front. Of course, Frazee, the Monroe, Michigan native, who scored a couple of goals the last time these teams matched up on New Year's Eve, including a short-handed marker. On the back end, it will be Tristan Sim and Brian Parsons, and as we mentioned, Valtteri Nusiainen between the pipes, your Orthopedic Associates starting lineup for the Port Huron Prowlers. Well, the Rockers tonight have a celebrity player. It is Zach Pearson, the 40-year-old from White Lake, Michigan. Last played in 2013-14 for the Bloomington Thunder in the SPHL. Also played in the Central Hockey League, the International Hockey League, and the ECHL. From what I've been told, he grew up playing with Jamison Milam, the head coach for the Motor City Rockers, and Pearson in town as the head coach and GM for the Decatur Blaze of the USPHL Premier. The Blaze playing against the Motor City Gamblers, who play here at Big Boy Arena. So he's in town and he gets the game in tonight. And Pearson will be in the starting lineup. As they announce the starters here for the Rockers, and it looks like it will be Trevor Babin making his return between the pipes. This will be just the second time Babin has faced off against the Prowlers this season. Take you down to ice level for the rest of the pregame ceremonies and tonight's national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps and we respectfully ask you all to join us in a moment of silence. The Federal Prospects Hockey League is sad to announce the passing of former FPHL player Johnny Bonta. Bonta passed away unexpectedly on Wednesday, January 23rd at the age of 29. The Cincinnati, Ohio native spent 4 years in the FPHL playing with the Mississippi Seawolves, Blue Ridge Bobcats, Danbury Hat-Tricks, Elmira Mammoth, and helped the Watertown Wolves to a Commissioner's Cup championship during the 2021-22 season. Bonta known for his energy and hustle and was respected by all those who played with. He was a great ambassador to our beloved game and will be missed dearly by all. Please join us in a moment of silence remembering Johnny. Thank you. Chick-fil-A of Shelby Township asks that you remain standing. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Current and former military personnel may keep their hat on and render the military salute. It is now time for our national anthem being performed by Aubrey Kay.
National anthem from Big Boy Arena. Prowlers and Rockers getting set, and you may have saw the Prowlers mascot Mitz down there at the Rockers entrance. Mitz is in the building tonight. Prowlers will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow night, and hopefully Slash will be able to make it up there, but always fun to have both mascots here in the same building. Let's take a look at tonight's goaltending matchup. It'll be Valtteri Nusiainen and Trevor Babin. Nusiainen has won each of his last 3 starts. You see the numbers there for him. He's done very well against the Rockers this season. Well, Babin has had a bit of an uncharacteristically down year for him. He was injured for a while. He's back now. Made just 6 starts this year, 2 and 4. but he did have his best start of the year against the Prowlers. That came back on November the 2nd, a 29 save performance in a 2-1 loss here at Big Boy Arena. Please do stick with me. I am the cameraman here tonight, as well as all my normal duties, so please give me a little bit of patience. They were not able to give me a camera tonight, but we are underway here from Big Boy Arena as the Prowlers and the Rockers go at it again. There's Reggie Millette working his way in, slows up as he gets the line, goes over towards DC, turns it back to Millette, tried a shot towards the net that misfired, ended up in the corner. And DC with a steal down low to Frazee, tried to go in tight, and a save by a sprawling Babin. DC lost an edge. He was battling with Nick Gullo, number 94. DC got it out towards Frazee, couldn't get a clean shot away. Millette up towards the point. Kept in for a moment, and now Gullo looks the other way. Stretch pass for Rivers at the Prowler line, but he is offside. I mentioned it in the pregame show. Gullo back with the Rockers after he was traded from the Dashers Hockey Club earlier this week. Gullo was inactive before the trade and then got traded right back as he became active. Gullo was a Rocker for part of last season. Here's Avery Smith weaving into the offensive zone, lost the puck to Scantleberry. Smith has it back, trying to walk up the red line. He's upended as he dumps it in. Adam Heinzel fresh off IR, gets to that puck first, moves it up the boards. Scantleberry able to skate up the wall. Now he's stopped up. He is Tellstrom right in on him, and Smith fires it over top of the cage from the red line. Rockers get a change. Slid across and set back in by Will Campbell. Number 13, Campbell, wearing a fishbowl. He's spent a lot of time on the injured list this season. Out comes Jamie Bussell to the offensive zone. Drag, shoots that one off a body. And first on it, Chris Buys. And we continue to talk about players who have been on the IR. Buys has spent most of this year on IR. Multiple stints. He was returned from his most recent one on Tuesday. Here is Buys on the backhand, knocked down by the glove of Nusiainen. And Ben Brockway over to Alex Johnson. On for Kenny Stiles, who just came off the IR as well. Stiles to Johnson, his shot just goes wide. Brockway bounces it back in the offensive zone. Campbell to Kara Georges and dumped in by Oakes. Now Brockway with his head up. Bounces it towards Johnson. Came over to Milam. And back in comes Oakes. It's taken away by Lockhart. Oakes and Brockway come together. Lockhart takes the puck. Rivers trying to chase him out. He leaves it there for Brockway. And Brockway goes up the near side. Rink wide feed finds Millette. Trying to make a move on Milam, sends Frazee in. He's surrounded by purple. Sweaters his outside try, sticked away by Babin. Milam up to Tellstrom. His saucer pass knocked out of the air nicely by Millette. Spinning away from McGill Diaz. Reggie Millette works up high, hands off for Parsons. Trying to make a move around Wells. Parsons taken in the corner. And now Milam moves it up to Tellstrom. Kicked along towards McGill Diaz. Now taken back by the Prowlers. Then Frazee taken out with a hit. Parsons gloves it down in his own end. Over for Sim. And now the Prowlers captain Austin Federley. Played 3.5 minutes, no whistles yet. DC down the wall. Wells lost it. Here's Bussell working on Smith. And now a two-side scrum in the corner, including one of the newest Rockers, Doug Blaisdell. Signed a 4-game PTO on January the 14th. This is game number 3. Nusiainen leaves it there for Heinzel as fresh Rockers come off the bench. Scantleberry able to touch it through. Bussell catches up to it, makes a move on Colton. Bussell knocked to the ice. And the puck slides to Karageorgis. On with Gagnon. Karageorgis wraps it all the way around. Nusiainen throws it back the other direction, right up into Karageorgis. He spun with it, lost the handle, and here's Gagnon. Outside try, off the blocker of Nusiainen. It stays in play. Gagnon couldn't keep that bouncing puck in. Quick up back towards Karageorgis. Couldn't bring it in. And now Thelstrom settles things down for the Prowlers. Almost 5 minutes gone in this game, still no whistles yet. Shots 2 apiece. Johnson skates into it, makes a pull-up move, and lost the handle. Here's Rivers the other way. Rivers, toe drag shot, that was blocked by Lockhart. Shot by Campbell goes wide off the glass, and now Rotundi to the net, saved by Nusiainen. Lockhart still feeling the effects of that blocked shot from his knees, able to send it all the way down. That will be an icing against the Prowlers, and we will take our first time out at the first whistle of the game. 14:35 left to go in period 1. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network, providing resources and funding to help start or grow your business. Small business support in participating Region 6 counties. Take advantage of the network's free training and events for entrepreneurs and small business owners. The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network aims to boost your chances of success. Learn more about the network's Small Business Cohort Program. With rentable workspaces, business coaching, training, and funding opportunities, it's time to become a client of the Eastern Michigan Small Business Network.
Back here at Big Boy Arena, Prowlers with a defensive zone draw after the icing. Brett Lockhart, see if he's given the ability to change. Looks like he may stay out there. Actually, no, they did let him change. He was down on the ice as he took a shot to look like the ankle area, ended up clearing the puck from his knees. But the referees have granted him mercy and let him change. Prowlers also get a bit of a break after the TV timeout. They're back to it. Here's McGill Diaz trying to make a pass to the middle of the ice, popped up in the air off a stick. And now down in the corner, moved up the boards. Luke James trying to work it out, and McGill Diaz chases it back to his own end. Forced right back up the boards, ends up bouncing into the Prowlers zone. Parsons takes it behind his own net, chased out by Rivers, reverses over to the far side. Sim up in Graham's direction, takes a hit from Rivers. Shot from the outside from Smith, rose over top of the cage. Now Parsons to DC, trying to sidestep a hit from Milam, and he took one from Smith. Then Wells threw a check on Millette as he dumped it in. And Matt Graham stepping up on Avery Smith as he deflected the puck into the zone. Nusiainen covered the puck and held on to it. Avery Smith is going over to have a word with referee. Matt Graham stepped right up on him in the neutral zone. Physicality picking up early in this one. Tonight's referees are Kevin Mallon and Steve Gowdy. The linesman Brandon Badens and Jacob Kohlmeyer. Now Valtteri Nusiainen is shuffling over to the Prowlers bench, maybe something equipment related. I can't really tell from here because I'm at a very low vantage point and there are actually people in the stands tonight. Looks like he has his leg up on the boards. This is the most packed I've seen Big Boy Arena, and why not $5 ticket night for the Rockers tonight as Nusiainen heads back to his net. Of course, this building is typically about half Prowler fans when Port Huron visits. It will be a little bit more 60-40 in favor of the Rockers this time. As Blaisdell sends this one all the way around, Thelstrom and Tellstrom come together. Give you a funny story about them at our next whistle if we can. Here comes Ludwig Thelstrom. Tried to dump it in. Wells stepped up on him. Now Blaisdell up to Smith. Floats it along for Wells. Slides it off the cross corner. Thelstrom a drive, or Tellstrom, pardon me. That one came off the glass as he missed the net. Now Millette the other direction, towards DC. Buys got hit to him on the back check. Here's Millette, spinning it, and it pops to the middle of the ice. Buys sends Tellstrom on his way. Heinzel bats it away from him. Now Matthias Tellstrom, cross corner dump, taken by Brockway. Moved up the boards, Kara Georges stepping around Millette. Kara Georges on his backhand, had it poked away by Scantleberry. Comes all the way around towards Brockway. Backhands it up the boards and out of the zone. Rotundi plays D to D to Campbell. Touched in by Pearson. Zach Pearson, the celebrity player tonight for the Motor City Rockers, wearing number 67 in purple. Scantleberry fires his way in. Outside try, knocked down by Babin, and the rebound rescued by Rotundi. This puck sent all the way down, and icing called against the Rockers. I mentioned it. Matthias Tellstrom, Ludwig Thelstrom, we've talked about how they're one letter apart. Well, that is actually kind of by design. As Ludwig told me after the last meeting between these teams, his name used to be Tellstrom, but his mother's side decided to add the H. So now it's Thelstrom, but Matthias Tellstrom is actually Ludwig Thelstrom's father's cousin, as he told me. Hopefully I'm remembering that correctly. And this name change actually happened as recently as 4 years ago, so Ludwig Thelstrom actually did start his pro career as Ludwig Tellstrom before adding that H. This one sent all the way around towards Valtteri Nusiainen. Sim gives it over to Bussell, weaving his way up the ice. Bussell on the outside, stops up. Couldn't give it back to the point. Rivers trying to push his way out. And now Rivers across to Oakes. Takes the shot, he missed it wide. As it clangs off the backboards. Tellstrom over to Brockway, head up, gives it back. And now up to Kenny Stiles at the red line. Stiles trying to dance in, he's tripped up. Scantleberry battling for that puck, and Tellstrom backhands it out of the zone. Stiles takes a shove, and it's McGill Diaz not able to bring in that pass. Johnson came in hard on the forecheck, and now McGill Diaz behind the net. Graham steals that puck away, rims it all the way around. Heinzel bats it down behind the cage to Matt Graham. Back out high to Heinzel. He takes the shot, and he missed the net just wide. Wells tries to work up ice, couldn't do it. And now Heinzel back in. Dumps it around behind the net. McGill Diaz off the boards. And now it's Millette taking the shot just after the whistle. And that will draw a crowd. Heinzel cuts off Smith, who's trying to get at Reggie Millette. And now Heinzel, fresh off the IR, looks like he wants one with Avery Smith. Linesman won't let it happen. As the face-off was, I believe, for a hand pass, as it popped up and hit Joe Frazie's glove before Millette was the next one to touch it. Once again, if you're just joining us, I am your cameraman tonight. While I am the cameraman as well as your play-by-play broadcaster and all that other fun stuff. So thanks so much for sticking with us tonight, as unfortunately we were unable to get a video from the Motor City Rockers production team. Here's Josh Colton behind the net. Over to Blaisdell. Pass went off of Frazie's stick, and they blow it dead. Maybe the puck went into the Prowler bench or something along those lines. Past the midway point of period one, still no score here at Big Boy Arena.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Back here in Fraser, still searching for our first goal between the Prowlers and the Rockers. Game number 7 of 14 in this Battle of I-94 season series this year. Prowlers have won 5 of the first 6. And if they win both this weekend, they'll at least secure themselves the split of the season series. Port Huron has dominated the series this year as Reggie Millette flies in, gives it over to DC, settles down that puck, gives it down to Millette. Now a two-side scrum in the corner. Millette trying to pull it out. Now DC finally able to. It's Buys forcing it around the boards, and Buys sent it into the protective netting. Reggie Millette looking for a penalty, but Steve Gowdy, the referee, says it was deflected out of play. So no delay of game penalty coming against the Rockers. Face-off will be to Trevor Babin's right. He has made 3 saves so far. Gullo able to win the face-off back. Here's Colton, the Rockers captain, sending it off the near side boards. Indirect feed. Rivers picks it up on the other side. Rivers tried to drop it back, but Federley got his stick in the way. Now Federley looking to start a rush. 3-on-2 if the Prowlers hurry. Federley sent it into the offensive zone off a Rockers defenseman, and it goes back the other way. Blaisdell to Rivers, tried to toe drag, had his pocket picked by Bussell. Bussell taken in. Puck comes to Gullo. He skies it down to the Prowlers line. And it goes all the way into the corner. Thelstrom plays it away from Oakes. Out to neutral ice. Campbell puts it right back in. Thelstrom looking towards Graham. Couldn't connect cleanly on the pass. Wells had his stick lifted by Luke James. Here comes James to Johnson, across to Graham, down low looking for James, and he just tipped it wide. Johnson tried the Michigan for a moment, and he just couldn't get the puck up on his stick, but he definitely tried it. Here is Johnson, looking back, Doris still take the shot, as he had Graham sliding down the other way. But the Rockers got in the way of that pass, and Babin able to shut down the short side shot. Good opportunities here for the Prowlers. Still no score. Johnson all by himself, his team in the midst of a change, tried to make a pass to Frazee fresh off the bench. That was poked away. Frazee took a hit from Smith in the corner. Rotundi over to Tellstrom. Millette dumps it right back in. And Campbell settles things down behind his own net. Not too many whistles in this opening period. It's been good up and down action. We're still looking for our first goal as Brian Parsons fires it all the way around to DC. Now Frazee up to Millette into the offensive zone, pulls up. He leaves it there for Parsons, got it down deep. DC working on it in the corner, took a hit from Buys, knocked him down, and the Rockers clear the puck. Parsons chased by Buys. Millette up to Sim. Tried to float it towards Frazee. That was knocked out of the air by Nick McGill-Diaz. DC gets it down and around deep. Milam with Frazee watching him. Off the back wall to McGill-Diaz. Lead pass up for Gullo. Gullo surrounded. Puck knocked off his stick. Oakes behind the net. Takes a look. Tried to go towards Rivers. He gloves it down. Now McGill-Diaz off the far corner boards. Oakes and Lockhart come together. Now it's Gullo. Gullo and Brockway both go down. Oakes and Lockhart again come together. Here's Oakes on his backhand. Saved by Nuciani. He got the rebound as well. As Cody Oakes is able to walk out of the corner. While Terry Nuciani shuts him down on both opportunities to keep this game scoreless. Still no penalties called in this game either. The score sheet is clean. And the face-off to Nucianin's left. Quick shot off the draw by Tellstrom. And that one rises up out of play. And we'll do it again from the same spot. The Graham and Smith once again. Except Tellstrom not lined up right behind Avery Smith this time. Graham won it, but it came right to the slot. Stiles able to rescue the puck. Slid around towards Heinzel. Colton got it back deep. And now Colton at the point. Rister towards the net, changed direction. Cut off by Graham before it got all the way through. Johnson gave it to Tellstrom. Knocked off his stick. Tellstrom and Colton come together. Three players in there digging away for each side. Now Graham and Smith together with the puck underneath them. Graham able to spin it away to Johnson. Puck still up along the board. Johnson a centering pass, and Blaisdell cut it off. Comes out of the zone. And Adam Heinzel starts the regroup. Tellstrom with his head up, his team getting fresh bodies on the ice. Goes to Millette off the bench. And then Frazee tips it into the Rockers' end. Campbell up the far boards. Tellstrom had his clearing attempt blocked. Tellstrom back on it. And it goes down to Campbell. Motor City making some changes. Under 4.5 to go in an active period one. But still no goals. Kara Georges trying to change it, but he lost the handle as he tried to dangle through. Kara Georges back on it again. This time he'll dump. Gave it right up to Tristan Sim. Parsons fanned on a pass. Did get out of the zone though. Rotundi over to Campbell. Back up towards Rotundi. Kara Georges couldn't chip his way by. And now DC has some space. And he lost that space quickly. Rotundi came over and leveled Stefan DC. DC slow to his skates, and now they'll blow it dead as Stefan DC still down in the Rockers' end. We will take a timeout here on the PHP Network. Still looking for our first goal.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Back here at Big Boy Arena, 3:45 left to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Stefan Deasy just headed off to the Prowlers locker room with help from Joel Frazee and Rockers team Dr. Ashley Fox. So certainly a concern there for the Prowlers as Ryan Rotundi came over and laid a big hit on Deasy as he entered the offensive zone. Tucker Scantleberry having a chat with Steve Gowdy, the referee, which may be a little bit about why the faceoff is where it is. It is deep in the Prowlers' end between Austin Federley and Nick Gullo, 2 of the shortest players in the FPHL, which is something I can say as someone who stands about the same height as both of them. Tied up off the faceoff, Rivers to the net, and Nusiainen able to make the save.
Hey fans, we want to thank the Holiday Inn Express in Roseville.
And Gullo and Federley don't have to move very far to get back to the dock.
Is Roseville's premier hotel, just minutes away.
Don't have to move at all, actually. Face off, one back this time by Federley. Wrapped all the way around, and Scantleberry tips it on for Bussell. Federley hustling to join him. Federley takes the shot, and a save made by Babin as Bussell found him charging down the center. Nice pass from Bussell to Federley, and a good play by Scantleberry to tip it out to Jamie Bussell. A good play all around from that line. Trevor Babin had to make his biggest save of the night. Off the face-off, Milam looks to work it out. Rode off of Cody Oak's stick. And Lockhart retrieves back in his own end. Federley on towards Scantleberry, stepping around Milam. Scantleberry centered, looking for Bussell. He was tied up by McGill Diaz. Now Rivers tried to slip it out. Scantleberry stole it, turned it right on net, and Babin able to make the save. Federley. Up high it goes. Brockway, D to D to Lockhart. Sends it down and around. Milam took a hit from Scantleberry. Brockway, this time to the net. That hit a body on the way through. Ended up in the corner. Scantleberry in front! Glove saved by Babin. That's highway robbery as Scantleberry got out in front. Heinzel back towards the net. That's blocked. And here's Oakes on the right wing side into the Prowlers' end. Tried to slip it down deep. Bussell took it, and he launches it all the way down where Avery Smith plays it. Smith moves up. Had it stolen this time by Bussell. And now Johnson into the offensive end. His shot is eaten up by Trevor Babin, who made a huge save on Tucker Scantleberry just moments ago as Scantleberry cut himself to the front of the net, and he had it on the forehand. And unfortunately for Scantleberry, a great save from Trevor Babin, and that looks more like the Trevor Babin that we've seen the past few years in this rivalry. Again, he's having a rough season. Just a .901 save percentage, a .412 goals against average. Hasn't played too many games, missed time with injury. And Ricky Gonzalez has really taken the reins as the starter, but Gonzalez inactive now. So it's up to Babin. James with a steal. James and Blaisdell now battling. Johnson tried to center, couldn't do it. Now Johnson in the corner. Trying to cycle. He gets it down towards James, got through him. James tried to wrap around, and Babin got his pad down at the post. James this time cycles for Graham, and now Johnson. Back to Graham on the half wall. Johnson again. Try to hand off for Graham, that didn't work. Pops out to the middle of the ice. Heinzel got a stick on it, but it ends up with Wells, and he tosses it down to the Prowlers zone. Icing waved off as Thelstrom plays it. Thelstrom curls back, and he gives it to Adam Heinzel. As both teams finish up some changes as we hit the final minute of play in period 1. Kristen Sim up towards Millette at the Rocker blue line, touched into the zone. Rotundi to Campbell. Try to go back over to Rotundi, puck's loose behind the net. Rotundi wins the race there, and Kara Georges fires it rink wide, and it's taken away by Scantleberry, but he took a bump. Adam Kuhn to Kara Georges. Tried to whack it deep, got it down behind the Prowler net. Sim absorbs contact from Kuhn. Kara Georges tries to work up the wall. Sends it down the boards and ends up behind the Prowler net again. Parsons to Millette. Time for one last rush for the Prowlers. It's Frazee flying in. Frazee on the outside, all the way around the net. Frazee with 3. Tried to feed it out to Parsons, but Oakes got his stick on it, and that's going to do it for the opening 20 minutes here in Fraser. The Prowlers and the Rockers still searching for tonight's first goal. We are scoreless. Shots on goal in that opening period favoring the Prowlers 9-5 as Valtteri Nusiainen and Trevor Babin did their jobs and they kept the offenses off the scoreboard. Well, stick around for the Moses Roses Smoke Break first intermission report. We go around the Empire, all the highlights from last weekend's games in the Empire Division, including the Prowlers and Rockers highlights from last weekend. The first game for the Venom in their new real home building. Hopefully this one lasts longer than the last one. We'll also look at some storylines from around the league. We'll also touch on some news regarding the Rockers that came down later today. And we'll also look at the out-of-town scores, of course, the game stats from this one so far, and all of that fun stuff. It's all coming up tonight, or in a few minutes, here on the PHP Network. Well, the Prowlers are celebrating 10 years in Port Huron, and now is your time to get exclusive 10th anniversary gear at the Prowlers team store. Located on the west side of McMorran Arena at every home game or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your POHO best with gear from the Prowlers team store. No score through 20 minutes here at Big Boy Arena in the Battle of I-94. Prowlers and Rockers. We'll talk about it in the locker rooms, and we'll be right back with this week's edition of Around the Empire.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
welcome back here to Big Boy Arena, wrapping up the first intermission. And it's goose eggs on the board tonight so far. Prowlers and Rockers have been unable to find the back of the net. And we are scoreless, getting set for period number 2. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. But before we continue talking about this game, let's take a look around the FPHL, and we will start with our storylines from this week. And this is not including the big storyline involving the Motor City Rockers. We'll get to that one momentarily. But there were some trades that went down this week in the FPHL. William Lavaliere traded to the Monroe Moccasins as he kind of got pushed out of the Columbus River Dragons rotation. Hasn't made a start since December the 13th. That was actually against the Monroe Moccasins. Lavaliere, who's a very talented goaltender, will get an opportunity elsewhere and maybe make himself the guy in Monroe. Dashers picking up Blake Sewardson from the Venom, 10 points in 21 games for him this season. Dashers in Topeka, Kansas this weekend against one of Sewardson's former teams, the Baton Rouge Zydeco. And we will check in on that score, although the puck hasn't dropped, but we'll check in on that score throughout the night. Finally, Carolina picks up Vladislav Pavlov. They give up Andrei Simonchek, as Simonchek went inactive this week. But the Thunderbirds getting Pavlov from the Moccasins in exchange for Simonchek, a defenseman for defenseman swap. But of course, the story that came down this afternoon, the Rockers are now instead of Bearcat hockey, they're being sold to a man named Ken Andrews, whose big message was there will be no changes to the team's branding, logo, or colors, which was concerns the last time an ownership change was announced for this team just a month or so ago. Another interesting point to this is the return of Nick Field, who was the general manager of this Rockers club for the first couple of years. So Nick Field will be coming back as the GM, as he was able to build a couple of good Rockers teams the last 2 seasons. And we'll see if that can continue, and maybe he can get the Rockers back on track and help out Jamison Milam a little bit. But that is the interesting news here in Motor City. As now we start to take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard with every team in action tonight. And the Watertown Wolves really want second place back in the Empire Division. They're up 3-0 on the Danbury Hat Tricks through 20 minutes of play in Watertown. Stephen Klink, Mark Botero, and Trevor Lord have the goals in that one. Thunderbirds up 2-1 on the Venom through 20 minutes of play down in Winston-Salem. It's Gus Ford and Yuri Pastuka for the Birds, and Marquis Grant Mentis, who was a Rocker for about 4 games this season, now with the Venom, has scored in his Venom debut, just as he did in his Rockers debut. 2-1 there in Winston-Salem. Black Bears all over the Seawolves, 3-0. They're out shooting Mississippi 10-1 down there in Biloxi. They're just past the midway point of period 1, by the way. It's already 3-0. Kyle Steppen, Austin Thompson, and Zach Sirota have all found the back of the net for the visiting Black Bears. Goals have been hard to come by over in the Continental Division as the Rock Lobsters and River Dragons are scoreless through 20 minutes of play. Josh Rosenzweig and Matt Pedersen doing their jobs in the opening 20 minutes. That one in Columbus. And they're about at the midway point of period 1 in Monroe. And it's Sean Kuhn and Hunter Vorostik doing their jobs as the Moccasins and the Bobcats are tied up at 0. The Zydeco and Dashers should be getting set to drop the puck in just moments. No word on the starting goaltenders in that game just yet. Of course, here it is scoreless between the Prowlers and the Rockers as we look at the game stats, which are a little bit blank. Lots of zeros up there, not just in the goals department, but also on the power play and penalty minutes side, as neither team found their way to the sin bins in the opening 20, which I guess is a good sign, but of course in this rivalry, you never know. It could break loose at any moment. We did see a little bit of nastiness at times, and we'll see if we get a little bit more coming up here in period number 2, as both teams getting set to take the ice to continue this game. As we take a look at our PHP Network trivia question for tonight. And of course, Alex Johnson, we mentioned it at the top of the show. He is the 3rd player in franchise history to play 300 games as the Prowler tonight, his 300th game with the team. And for his career, Alex Johnson now at 380 total games. Of course, he also played for the Brewster Bulldogs and the Danbury Titans. But tonight's trivia question, we want to know who the next closest to that 300 games mark is. So put your guess in the comments section, and we'll give you the correct answer coming up at the start of period number 3. I wonder if the Rockers DJ knows that Pump It Up is the Prowlers goal song, and that they're getting the Prowler fans going just as much as they are the Rockers fans. Either way, while Terry Nusiainen down the goal crease to our right, he has stopped all 5 Rocker shots so far. Trevor Babin down the goal crease to our left has stopped all 9 Prowler shots so far in this game. Joel Frazee and Nick Gullo at center to begin period number 2. And we hold our breath. And now we're underway in the second. Still searching for our first goal. Eli Rivers is certainly a candidate to get the first goal of the game. Leads the Rockers in goals, assists, and points, 15-15-30 for Rivers so far this season. Well, the Rockers' big goal scorers, though, out tonight. TJ Sneath is on the IR. And that's certainly a big loss for them offensively, and certainly factored in to them scoring 1 goal in 2 games last weekend in Danbury. Here is Rivers, dumping it in. Brockway first on it. Took a hit from Gullo as he moved it up towards Millette. Millette throws on the brakes. Elects to reverse back to this side. Brockway tries to launch it out. Stefan Deasy, nice to see him back on the ice after he was helped to the locker room. And now it's played up to Frazee. Gets to the net, Frazee! Stopped by Babin, who tracked him the entire way. Scantleberry took a hit in the corner. Now Frazee couldn't handle that puck as it just hopped over his stick. Rockers coming back up with numbers. Wells trying to spin away from Thelstrom, couldn't do it. And Federley starts the Prowlers up with some numbers. Federley has to chase after that puck in the corner, though. Reverses up the boards. Scantleberry to Federley. Walks in, shot stopped by Babin, dropped right in front of him, and he was able to cover up for a whistle and a face-off.
Naturally, the perfect drink to go with it. The long drink. Sparkling refreshment, real liquor.
Prowlers get a couple of opportunities here. Another great save from Trevor Babin, tracking Joel Frazee all the way around the net. And he keeps this game scoreless. Off the face-off, Heinzel quickly to the net. Save made by Babin, as Heinzel shot that through the legs of a Rocker. Scantleberry on his backhand, set in front. Bussell tried to jam away and couldn't get it to go. Buys, bounces it off the wall, and now the zone comes all the way back to Nusiainen. He gives it to Thelstrom. Thelstrom escapes Buys, who lost an edge. There's Thelstrom into the offensive zone, but he is offsides, and now Rotundi going after Thelstrom, and they'll have to be separated. And as I said, it doesn't take long, as now 2 guys in that pile have gone crashing to the ice. Babin coming out of his crease to find out what's up. Jamie Bussell is heading over to the penalty box. See who else joins him. Looks like Ryan Rotundi heading that direction as well. We'll see if this ends up being evened up. And it looks like Steve Gowdy, the referee, signaling 4-on-4.
Hey fans, that fight just gave you a chance to win one free service with Mosquito
So
Joe.
2 minutes each for Rotundi and Bussell, likely roughing on both sides. And we'll get some four-side action here for 2 minutes early on in period 2. Indeed it is, roughing for each side. And off the face-off, Rockers get the first possession. It's fired up to Rivers, entering the offensive zone with Gullo. Rivers a shot, stopped by Nusiainen, and he hangs on. And that one stuck to him. Eli Rivers coming in with a long-range try as he came in with Gullo. It's Graham, Johnson, Sim, and Parsons for the Prowlers. Gullo, Rivers, Milam, and McGill Diaz. See Rivers lined up right at the top of that circle behind Nick Gullo. It's tied off the dot, and Graham able to push it to Johnson. One-on-one against Milam. Johnson on his backhand, and he's stopped by Trevor Babin. So the Prowlers will get an offensive zone face-off. There's 18 seconds into the 2 minutes of 4-on-4 time. Stefan Deasy will now draw with Nick Gullo. The Prowlers made changes, Rockers did not. And if there's one thing we did not need was the music louder in this arena. At the point, it's Lockhart walking, finding a spot, and it's gloved down by Babin as Lockhart found a lane to the net, and he took the shot. Trevor Babin grabs it in that right-handed catching glove. DC and Gullo again on the face-off. This time it's McGill Diaz who's able to move it, and Milam gives it to McGill Diaz. Rivers couldn't dance past DC. Back into the offensive zone. DC trying to be muscled off by Rivers. And now McGill Diaz takes it away. McGill Diaz into the offensive zone. Made a move at the line. And that forced Gullo to stretch. Prowlers look to turn back the other direction. Millette up to DC. Try to chip it through Rivers. Instead, it's Oakes now with the puck. Back for Milam. On to McGill Diaz. Has Tellstrom. Tried to get it to him, but Brett Lockhart got his stick right in the way. Federley using his skates. Had it knocked off his stick. Goes after it with McGill Diaz, who's been on here for the entire minute 20 of this 4-on-4. Now he'll head off as his team moves up ice. Blaisdell had it taken away. Scantlebury looks to fire up ice. Scantlebury in the offensive zone, and his shot stopped by Babin. And Trevor Babin able to hang on to that one, clutching it to his chest. 26 seconds left in the 4-on-4 action. And then we'll get back to 5-on-5. Those are the first penalties of the game, by the way. Neither team with a power play so far. Avery Smith starting a 2-on-1. Has Wells with him. Smith couldn't push it through. Good play by Thelstrom to muscle him off. Blaisdell over to Colton. Gave it back. Doug Blaisdell works his way into the Prowlers zone. Tried to send it towards the net. That one didn't work. Comes out high to Wells. Shot towards the cage. Saved by Nusiainen. He gathers it back in and scoops it up for a whistle and a face-off. as we're back to 5-on-5 with Bussell and Rotundi stepping out of their respective penalty boxes. Shots in this period favoring the Prowlers 6-1 right now. Make it 6-2 now. Port Huron got all 3 shots that came during that 4-on-4 time. Zach Pearson lined up right behind Avery Smith for this faceoff. Frazee will snap it back where Sim plays it over to Parsons, and Sim took a hit. He's down in the corner. Meanwhile, it's Millette floating across to DC. Sim's back to his skates, trying to rejoin the play. Puck comes to him, and Sim, kind of on one leg, sent it over to Parsons, just moved it up ice. Rockers work in. Wells, saucer pass knocked out of the air by Parsons. Lockhart, quick up towards DC. Has Millette coming with him. DC makes a move, drops it off. Frazee's shot. That one went off a stick and wide. Brockway looks to the net, takes it, saved by Babin, and he'll hang on. We'll see about Tristan Sim. I can't see the Prowlers bench from here, but Sim took a hit in the corner as he moved it right off that face-off, and he was down for a moment. Got back up, started skating back to the bench under his own power, and then the puck came to him. He had to move it quickly, and he went back all the way to the Prowlers bench. Off this face-off, it got through Brockway, who's lined up at the top of the circle. Brockway just claps it all the way around. And it's McGill Diaz stepping out from behind his own cage. Sent it over to Buys off his stick. Puck bounces around, and it lands on the far side. Bussell scoops it up, trying to spin on Kara Georges, who pokes it out of the zone. Brockway up to Federley. Now Skittleberry. Tried to drop it back to Austin Federley. Sends it to Lockhart, the trailer. Back in front, and Babin fought it off. Bussell got a piece of it on the back side, and Trevor Babin got a bigger piece and was able to fight off that shot. Here's another one that Babin's able to stop with Bussell right on his doorstep. This one lofted down back to the Prowlers' end, and Trevor Babin has looked good tonight. Skittleberry works his way in. Stick handling, lost it. Kara Georges fires it off the glass. Oakes couldn't do anything with it. Graham up for Johnson at the blue line. Johnson tried the return feed, got all the way through to Graham, but he couldn't do anything with it. He was in too tight. Now Johnson to the net, goes wide. Delstrom keeps it alive, sending it down towards Stiles. Graham lifts McGill Diaz's stick. Milam able to finally take the puck. He sends it off the glass all the way down. And icing waved off at the last moment. Good hustle from Cody Oakes as he took a hit from both Heinzel and Thelstrom for his effort. Stiles flips it over to Graham. Now Johnson sends it across towards Graham. Back to the line to Sim, who's back on the ice. He seems to be all right. Smith takes over, dumps it right in on Nusiainen, who gloves it and moves it. Sim trying to play away from Smith, lost the handle, and it came to Nusiainen, who covered up for a whistle and a face-off. 12:44 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. Still searching for our first goal tonight in Fraser.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Live where you work. Work where you play. Is your work commute making you miserable? Quit the commute. Explore hot jobs in St. Clair County paying $40,000 to $100,000 or more. Visit stclairhotjobs.com. Spend more time doing what you love. If you're not currently living in St. Clair County, or you know friends or family that moved away but are ready to come back, then visit stclairhotjobs.com to find a new job and make the move.
Back here in Fraser, Battle of I-94, still searching for its first goal, and why not? Two great goaltenders between the pipes tonight, although the offense is not giving them too much to worry about. Shots are 11-8, although both netminders have had to make some great saves, especially Trevor Babin down the end to our left. Here's Wells, a shot right off the face-off. Nusiainen got it with the glove. Prowlers have largely dominated this second period so far. The Rockers with the offensive zone face-off. It comes all the way through to Blaisdell at the point. That one came in and punched to the corner by Nusiainen. Behind the net, it's Tellstrom. Knocked to a knee. Moved it out towards Wells. And now Smith. Plays it all the way along the wall. Colton pinching in to try and keep it alive. Had taken by DC. Now Millette tried to float it across back to DC. Didn't get much on it. And Tellstrom took it away. Colton, quick up to Matthias Tellstrom. Ran into his own teammate Smith at center. Sim grabs that loose puck. Slides it up the boards. Tellstrom trying to stick handle his way back in. Puck is loose right now. Batted around. And DC finally able to take control. Millette able to little sucker kick into the offensive zone. Lockhart at the point, trying to slide it right to Frazee, passes behind him. Millette scoops it up in the corner. Now Lockhart at the point, on goal, deflected, out of play. Little shot pass looking for Joel Frazee, who was right at the side of the net. Just got under it a little bit too much, and that puck ends up in the protective netting, out of play. 11:33 left here in period 2. And the Bucell line back out there. They've had their opportunities tonight. Bucell, Federley, and Scantlebury. We'll see if they can get another good one and put the puck in the back of the net. They were big catalysts for the win over Mississippi in the last game. All three of them with multi-point efforts, as Gullo has been kicked out of the face-off. Eli Rivers will come in to take it against Bucell instead. Bucell wins it back. Federley in front looking for Scantlebury, had his stick lifted. Bucell picks it up on the other side. Tossed out of the Rockers zone. Lockhart able to keep Oakes from going the other direction. Now Rotundi off the wall, all the way down. And Lockhart grabs it for the Prowlers. Brockway, back for Lockhart. Quick up, looking for Federley. It's tipped into the offensive zone. Federley grabs it there. Leaves it in the corner for Bucell. Cycle around, Scantlebury took a hard hit. Federley on his back end, stopped by Babin, and it's sent out of the zone. Heinzel just plays it for Tellstrom, and then Heinzel run into the wall hard by Oakes. The Prowlers have a 3-on-2. Here's Bucell dropping. Scantlebury to the middle of the ice. His shot stopped by Babin. There's a broken stick on the ice, and the Rockers are going to get a penalty. Arm is up in the air as Nusiainen goes to the bench for the delayed call. Stiles makes a move and hands back for Tellstrom. Shot on net, knocked down by traffic in front. Stiles tried to keep it alive, but Pearson able to get there first. And we will get our first power play of the game. Rockers bringing up the physicality, but they've taken, looks like a slashing penalty possibly, as I saw a stick snap in half. And it is Nick Gullo who is going to the box, slashing indeed the call. And the Prowlers' 8th ranked power play in the FPHL, actually tied with Monroe and Danbury in 8th with 20.5% on their power play. Went 2 for 9 last weekend against the Mississippi Seawolves. Rockers' PK has been getting better and better all season long. now up to 4th in the league. Perfect 8 for 8 last weekend against the Danbury Hat-Tricks. They're at 83.7%. An opportunity for the Prowlers to get the first goal of this game, and it's Lockhart. Giving it over to Millette. This side, Scantleberry, and now Lockhart. Millette looks down to Frazee. Millette had a power play goal, 5-on-3 albeit, against the Seawolves last weekend. Frazee to the net, slid it just through. I think he might have been looking for DC's stick. Now Millette over to Lockhart. Looks towards the cage, tried to slide it across. And Scantleberry had it hop off his stick. And the Rocker is able to clear it all the way down. This unit's still out there. And now starting a change as Bussell got it in. Rivers took the puck. And he floated all the way out towards Smith. Ends up where Nusianen's able to touch it to Lockhart. Now Bussell going back in his own end. Halfway through this Prowlers power play, Bussell dancing all the way into the offensive zone. Bussell stops up, and the Prowlers set up. Sim trying to play that puck. Instead, it's Rivers to Wells, and he gets it all the way down. Prowlers not getting anything on this power play. They have time for another rush if Johnson can get back to that puck. Here is Johnson, quickly across to Bussell. Trying to set it in, Graham chopping at it, Blaisdell, couldn't get it out. And now Graham in the corner, 15 seconds to go in this Prowlers power play. Bussell on the half wall, up top to Johnson. Over to Bussell, across, Federley. Johnson one-timer, kick save by Babin. Gullo is out of the box, and now it's a 2-on-0 for Motor City. Karen Georges, stopped by Nusianen. And now Valtteri Nusianen is down in his crease, and he seems to be in some discomfort. As Valtteri Nusianen just came up with the biggest save of this game for the Prowlers. A breakaway just as the power play expired. We will take a break here on the PHP Network as they check on Valtteri Nusianen, still scoreless.
See that? That's what 100% mozzarella looks like. What dough made daily looks like. What fresh ingredients and 8 irresistible flavored crusts on pizza cooked to perfection looks like. It's so much flavor, we don't even know if it's legal to have this much flavor. Now you can get that famous flavor for only $8.99. Wait, a large one-topping pizza for $8.99? That's a deal. It's a steal. No, it's a crime. Just $8.99 for a one-topping pizza full of our famous flavor. Now that's how we do a deal.
Hungry?
Howie's!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Oh, Valtteri Nusianen came up large, and he was rolling around in his crease for a little bit. But he is heading back to the crease after this TV timeout. So he seems to be all right. Good news for the Prowlers. And even better news for them, they're still tied. He gets set for this face-off. Matthias Tellstrom lined up right behind Avery Smith. Bussell able to win the face-off to the boards. And the Prowlers get out with it. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Federley gets in. Trying to send it down deep. Off of Colton's stick. And out comes Wells with it. On his backhand, slides it deep. Heinzel plays it out for Thelstrom. Now Scantleberry across looking for Federley. Bats up in the air. Now behind the net. Blaisdell gave it away. Scantleberry turnaround try, knocked down by Babin. He got the rebound too, as Bussell turned it back on net. Millette in the corner, looking for a pass. Prowlers starting a change. Scantleberry slid that one right through the crease. And now Scantleberry behind the net, looking for a pass that's in front. And Frazee is stopped by Trevor Babin, who gets a standing ovation from the crowd here at Big Boy Arena. And a good crowd here tonight. Again, it is $5 ticket night. So Rockers doing what they have to do to try and fill this place. And Trevor Babin certainly up to the task to keep this crowd entertained and keep the Prowlers off the board. DC dropped it all the way out. It's Parsons getting it down back to DC in the corner. Millette one-timer deflected, and Babin has that one as well. The Prowlers continue to pepper Trevor Babin with shots, and that's just been the life of a Motor City Rockers goaltender this season. It's been Ricky Gonzalez most of the time. This time, Babin has had to face a number of shots. Prowlers looking for more as Frazee tips it in. Comes all the way around to DC, waiting on the half wall. Sim keeps it alive at the line. Frazee had it knocked away by Rotundi. Comes over this side to Millette. To the point, Sim, Frazee had that one slip underneath his stick. And then DC upended Rotundi with the puck right there. Millette had it taken away. Here's Karageorgis on another breakaway. And he shoots it wide this time. Nusiainen stopped him on the first one. And then Karageorgis just missed the net that time. Karageorgis actually took that shot from far out. Maybe he thought he had some more pressure than he did. Brian Parsons was hustling back. There's Miguel Diaz, a shot. That one off a Prowler stick, and it rises up out of play. Still scoreless, under 6 now to go in period number 2. Trevor Babin continuing to put on a show at one end, and Valtteri Nusiainen putting on a show when he has to down at the other end. Prowlers up on shots, 24-12 for the game and 15-7 in this period. Rockers win this face-off. Nick McGill-Diaz sends it down and around. He was bidding for his first goal of the season just before that break as the puck went up out of play. To a side scrum behind the net. Now Brockway came in to help out. 3-on-2 for the Prowlers. And it's pulled out by Lockhart. Johnson floated it all the way across. Graham will skate into it. Left it for James. Down for Graham behind the net. And a rapid in front. And Babin had this pad down. Puck pinballing around at the top of the blue paint. And it slipped over to the far corner. Touch pass ends up out of the zone. Prowlers bring it right back in. Graham on his backhand. Floated off the boards. And McGill-Diaz scoops it up as Port Huron is in the midst of a change. McGill-Diaz launches this one all the way down the ice. And that is icing against the Motor City Rockers. Under 5 to go in period 2. And the netminders have been putting on a show tonight here at Big Boy Arena.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
.453 up on the clock here in period number 2. We have played over 35 minutes of game action, and the goaltenders have won them all. 38 shots on net between the two teams, 38 saves for the two goaltenders. And some of them have been 10-bellers tonight. Face off deep in the Rockers' end after the icing. Comes right to the boards. Miguel Diaz off the glass and past Thelstrom at the point. So we'll go all the way down for another icing. Rockers did get the benefit of the TV timeout after they iced the puck moments ago. This time they will not. Gullo gets set to draw again with Austin Federley. Tied up, Bussell right to the net. That one off a stick and out of play, and now Motor City will be able to get a much needed change. Port Huron will also switch up the troops, with Joel Frazie's line stepping out there. He'll take the face-off against Avery Smith. Smith wins it back. Miguel Diaz on for Tellstrom. T.S. Tellstrom over to Milam. He lost it and went to Miguel Diaz. Sent it out of the zone, and how about another icing? Wells racing to negate it, and he did, and Dusiainen forced to cover up. So no icing this time against the Rockers. They'll have an offensive zone face-off. I'm not sure if it was completely Dusiainen touching the puck and covering it up that negated the icing, or if Wells did indeed win that foot race. It looked like it was neck and neck between him and Adam Heinzel. Either way, Rockers trying to work it in the offensive zone, can't do it. Heinzel bounces it out. Frazie tosses it in. Babin plays it, rimming up the glass. Frazie swung and missed at it as it dropped right in front of him. And this puck slid all the way down. Dusiainen had his arm up like it may have been icing, but no such call. Frazie, right wing side, flies his way into the zone, drops the shoulder, but he had it poked off his stick. And a hooking penalty is being signaled. So Doug Blaisdell will head over to the penalty box, and the Prowlers will get their second man advantage of the period. And another chance to break the ice in this game. Not too many penalties in this one, and really it's not, referees not handing them out tonight. Both penalties that have resulted in power plays have certainly been earned. As Blaisdell has to sit for 2. This is Blaisdell's third game with the Rockers. They're beginning the season with the Quad City Storm in the SPHL. Now Alex Johnson wraps this one all the way around. We'll get you more on Blaisdell in a few moments. He has some interesting lines on his resume. Graham down deep, tried to feed it out. Comes to Johnson. Bussell unloads the one-timer, and Graham deflected, hit the side of the cage though. Federley faked the drive. Back pass to Bussell. A Sim on the far side, trying to get open. Meanwhile, it's Johnson now, trying to slide it down towards Sim, and Johnson forced out of the zone as his pass went off a Rocker. Graham quickly back in to Johnson. Pulls up, tried to slip it down towards Graham. Ends up on Rotundi's stick. Graham takes it from him. Pushed up high to Federley. Minute 5 left in this Prowlers power play as Johnson spins. Gives it down to Frazee. Frazee to the net. And stopped by Babin. Now Graham picks up the puck. Babin gave Frazee a little bit of a shove. Bussell looking to Graham, taps it on goal, they jam away, and the puck stays out. Now Federley up top, his drive stopped by Babin, in and out of the glove. There's an arm up in the air for a delayed penalty. Prowler's trying to get Nusiayan to the bench, he doesn't realize, now he's heading over there. Meanwhile, 30 seconds left in this Prowlers power play. Now it's a 6-on-4 attack. Millette fresh off the bench, down to Graham, looking towards the back side. Now it bounces around and in front. It's underneath some bodies, and finally they blow it dead. And the Prowlers will get a 5-on-3. Looks like cross-checking the call from referee Kevin Mallon. 18 seconds of a 5-on-3, and then it will be 5-on-4 after that. Ryan Rotundi heading to the penalty box. Chaos in the Rockers zone, and the Prowlers still have not been able to find the back of the net.
That was a Rockers penalty.
Looks like the face-off will come outside of the Rockers' end, though.
More cross-checking.
Looks like some confusion on which Prowlers are supposed to be on the ice. Finally, they get everyone out there who's supposed to be out there, as Joel Frazee and Avery Smith get set for the faceoff into the Rockers zone, but Milam takes it away from Scantleberry, tried to float it out, glove down by Lockhart. That keeps it from going all the way down. Smith able to take away a pass. Millette takes it back. Millette into the offensive zone. Sends it across. Lockhart down towards Scantleberry, and he couldn't take in that feed. It's now a 5-on-4 Prowlers power play as DC works it in the corner. Minute and a half left on the man advantage for Port Huron now. Millette up high, over to Lockhart. Down low, DC in the corner. Across to Millette. Lockhart, back pass finds Scantleberry. Prowlers working around the top. Lockhart over to Frazee, takes it from the outside, had it partially blocked and cleared. This penalty will expire right as the period does, if that helps. So we're into the period's final minute. Bussell to the net. His shot pinballs around and couldn't be cleared by Kuhn. Johnson walks up high over to Bussell. Trying to bounce it down deep. McGill Diaz got in the way and got it only as far as the red line where Bussell cut it off. Bussell back in, harassed by 3 purple sweaters. Puck's in his skates. Johnson able to pull it out. Got it down to Graham with 24 to go in the period and the power play. Bussell fakes the drive over to Johnson. 15 to go. Sim works up high. Handoff for Bussell. Down low, Graham. Across, Johnson couldn't load it up as the puck hopped away from him. 5 seconds left. Sim to Bussell with one. Drive saved by Babin at the horn as the Prowlers power play expires. And all that power play time for Port Huron. Trevor Babin comes up with some big saves, and we are scoreless heading into period number 3. Shots on goal in that period favoring the Prowlers 21-7. And it's the Trevor Babin show that's keeping the Rockers in this game. We'll talk all about it coming up on the Moses Roses Smoke Break second intermission report. We'll also take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule and the out-of-town scores coming your way as well. Some sad news for FPHL fans also today. We'll get to that as well coming up in the second intermission. But this has been a fun one, Prowlers, with all kinds of pressure. And as we've seen so many times before, it's the Trevor Babin show as the Rockers netminder has kept them in this game. We are still tied at 0. Secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game. That's tomorrow, January the 25th, as an 8:05 p.m. puck drop at McMorran Place due to Silver Stick games. So it is Silver Stick night. It is Mitz's birthday. So come out and celebrate with your favorite cat. From what I'm told, Slash will be there as well. And the Prowlers will also be wearing their gold 10th anniversary jerseys for the final time this season, and they will be auctioned off after the game. So if you want a game-worn 10th anniversary gold jersey off the back of your favorite Prowler, be sure to get down to McMorran Place tomorrow night. You can get your tickets at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or scan the QR code on your screen now to be a part of the Prowlers' 10th anniversary season. Once again, you must be in the building to win one of those jerseys off the back of your favorite Prowler, as it will be live auction only. So get your tickets now and be there for Silver Stick Night. It's usually the most packed game of the year and one of the most exciting nights of the year. So be sure you're there at McMorran Place to experience it. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network with the second intermission report, so stick around.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it! I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
They're cleaning up the Chuck-a-Pucks here at Big Boy Arena. And no matter how many pucks are out there on the ice, doesn't feel like any of them are going to go into the back of the net. Both goaltenders have been playing phenomenal hockey tonight. Prowlers dominating this game for large stretches. They've had a few power plays, and still, we are knotted up at 0 here at Big Boy Arena. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Well, if you're a gambler and you had the under in this game, you're looking pretty good. Well, Terry Nusiainen and Trevor Babin have been spectacular, cutting down some grade A opportunities throughout this one. Prowlers have thrown everything but the kitchen sink at Babin and have not been able to get anything past him. And guess what? We've seen this movie before. Last 2 years, Babin has been able to steal games for the Rockers against the Prowlers, games that Port Huron has dominated. But in the past few seasons, the Rockers have had more scoring power. They've had at least enough offense that they'd be able to score 1 or 2. You think of guys like Scott Koash, Declan Conway, TJ Sneath, who's not in the lineup tonight. He's just on IR, but still with the team. But tonight, unable to get anything, really unable to get much going offensively outside of a couple of grade A chances here and there. You think about Sotirios Karageorgis with not 1 but 2 breakaways in that second period. First one, well, Terry Nusiainen with a heroic save, and then on the second one, he shot it wide from about the top of the circles. But Prowlers have largely dominated this one, and the numbers tell that same story. They're out shooting the Rockers 30-12 right now. Again, 0 for 3 though on the power play, so certainly the man advantage is something the Prowlers are going to want to work on. But the Rockers' PK has been something that they have worked on, and they've improved tremendously on throughout this season. And as I mentioned earlier, up to 4th in the FPHL in that category. But the Rockers are a team that's been known to give up a ton of shots. Prowlers put 21 shots on Babin in that second period, tied for the second most that they've put on in a second period this season. But they have not been able to find the back of the net. Meanwhile, they've kept Terry Nusiainen's side relatively clean. Only 7 shots for the Rockers in that second period. That's among the fewest the Prowlers have given up in a period this season. Heck, they gave up 5 in that opening period, and that also is among the fewest that they've given up in a period to anybody this season. What the Prowlers have done well in their recent hot stretch is that they've turned things on in the third period, whether that's having a lead and keeping the foot on the pedal, or being tied or in a close game and really leaning on it in the third. They scored 3 goals against the Seawolves in the third period. In their last game, they scored 3 against the Binghamton Black Bears back on January the 4th, the first game of this winning streak. They scored a couple against the Dashers in each of those games in the third period, a couple against the Seawolves on January the 18th. So the Prowlers have been able to turn things on in the third period and keep the foot on the gas in the final frame of regulation. As long as they don't get frustrated, certainly they have an opportunity here to close out this game and possibly find the first goal. We will see if they are able to get that. As the Prowlers and Rockers still sit scoreless, we get set for period number 3. Well, we want to send our deepest condolences to the Mississippi Seawolves, Watertown Wolves, Blue Ridge Bobcats, American Premier Hockey League, and that league's Toledo Mobsters, along with the friends and family of Johnny Bonta, who it was announced today had passed away. Bonta was part of the Wolves' 2022 FPHL Commissioner's Cup championship team and was playing semi-pro in the APHL for the Mobsters. His last pro games were with the Seawolves on December the 20th and 21st in Port Huron when the Seawolves came up short players, and he was one of those who filled in and answered the late call to join the roster. He ended up with an assist in 2 games that weekend. Johnny Bonta was 29.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Welcome back here to Big Boy Arena. Still no score. 40 minutes up, 40 minutes down between the Prowlers and the Motor City Rockers. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network as we get set for period number 3. But first, take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule. And coming up are the Big Topeka games against the Dashers Hockey Club next weekend. First tomorrow night, an 8:05 start, late start at McMorran Place. Mitz's birthday against these same Rockers. You can get your tickets now at phprowlers.com/tickets. But again, next weekend, Prowlers will be in Topeka, Kansas for neutral site games. Dashers are playing the Baton Rouge Zydeco there tonight and tomorrow night. And the Prowlers will be part of the next round of that. And that will end January and begin the month of February. Season is quickly moving along here. We're past the midway point of the season. Prowlers in a good position right now in the Empire Division, but they'll need to continue to stack up wins to stay in that spot. And they have an opportunity here to continue to do that through the end of this month. Let's take a look in on those Topeka games along with the other games going on in the FBHL. And the Hat Tricks making a bit of a comeback here in Watertown. They were down 3-0 after one. It's now a 4-3 game as Billy Berry, Dylan Hullaby, and Corey Anderson scored in the second for the Hat Tricks. Davide Gaeta has won for Watertown now. Wolves up just one, heading into the third. The Thunderbirds and Venom are getting set for period 3. John Batista and Dimitri Selyutin has scored the goals for the Thunderbirds that have extended their lead from 2-1 to 4-1 in that middle frame. And Noah Hippolyte-Smith has one back for Mississippi, his first point in a very long time. Seawolves still trailing the Black Bears, but just by 2 now as they play in period number 2. They found goals in Columbus as Matthew Garcia got one for the Rock Lobsters. Justin McDonald answered for the River Dragons, and it is 1-1 through 2 periods of play in the battle between those two Georgia rivals. We found goals in Monroe as well. Bobcats with 2 from Austin Belfo and Jacob Wolf. Frank Schumacher the only goal for Monroe. They're still playing in period 2, and it is a 2-1 Bobcats lead. Finally, Zydeco all over the Dashers in period 1 in Topeka. Tyler Larwood has 2, Shane Haggerty the other. And it is 3-0 there. And when the Prowlers go to Topeka, they will be taking on the look and brand of the Topeka Roadrunners, not the actual NAHL defunct Topeka Roadrunners. This is a brand that has been made up for the team. And the Dashers will be the Topeka Scarecrows. Actually, the Zydeco are playing the role of the Roadrunners this weekend, and the Dashers, the Scarecrows. Again, that will not be the official brands like they looked when the Scarecrows were already playing in Topeka back in the day. This is a brand new look, and you can check it out on the FPHL's website and social media channels. Of course, here, no score between the Prowlers and the Rockers. Something has to give, and we'll see if it gives here in period number 3 as both teams are starting to hit the ice. And we take a look once again at our PHP Network trivia question, with Alex Johnson becoming the 3rd player in Prowlers franchise history to play 300 games with the team. We want to know who is the next closest to that mark right now for the Port Huron Prowlers. And your correct answer is the Port Huron native, Austin Federle. He has played 291 games as a Prowler. That's his entire FPHL career. And he could reach that mark on February the 21st. That would be a road game against the HC Venom. That will be the start of a 4-game road trip for the Prowlers. And Port Huron will get to see McCann Ice Arena for the first time, the new home of HC Venom. And we'll see if that's when Austin Federle hits that mark. Trevor Babin in the goal crease to our right. He has stopped all 30 Prowler shots through 40 minutes of play. Valtteri Nuciani in the goal crease to our left. A little bit less busy, but he stopped all the shots he's had to, 12 for 12. Goose eggs on both sides of the scoreboard as we get set for period number 3. Can somebody please find the twine? Nick Gullo and Joel Frazee are ready for the drop of the puck as they check on Reggie Millette and Eli Rivers before dropping it. And now we're underway in period number 3. This game has a little bit of a playoff feel to it. You expect these lower scoring games in the postseason more than the regular season, as teams trying to play defensively, not to make a mistake in the playoffs. Here's a quick up. Prowlers getting caught in the midst of a change. Gullo drops it off, tried to get it back. DC got his stick in the way, and now it's Frazee chasing after that puck, but Milam able to bat it back to the Prowlers' end. Puck may have left the playing surface and went out of play, so we will get a new puck, and we'll get a face-off just outside of the Rockers' zone. As both teams complete some changes. 39 seconds into period 3, the Scholes family McDonald's 3rd period. Hines able to whack that one into the offensive zone. Blaisdell spinning away from Federle, made a pass out to Smith. Now Smith goes all the way around the far side. Tellstrom bounces it back deep in his own end. Now it's Blaisdell, will try this side. Up to Smith, escapes his zone. Smith, long range try, that one ends up going off the back glass, and it escapes the playing surface. So we'll get another new puck. And we'll get another face-off, this time deep in the Prowlers' territory. It was Avery Smith who took that last long shot. Looking for his first goal of the calendar year 2025. His last goal, a shorthanded marker against the Prowlers on New Year's Eve. Here's Scantleberry tonight. His shot off the side of the cage. Babin was looking for it, but it's out in the neutral zone. Colton over to Blaisdell. Off for Kenny Stiles, and now Sim. Head up, gives it to Graham at the red line. They'll start it on for Stiles. Pulls up, took a hit from Kuhn. Kara Georges looks to work back the other way. Kara Georges chipped it around, headed after it. He and Sim come together, the two number 15s. Graham working up, sitting on 499 career FPHL points, Matt Graham. One moved along, Sim at the point. But Graham tried to center for Stiles. Now Sim back at the line, sets it on net, deflected, and it just goes wide. Him back up. Sorry. Prowlers back deep in their own end. Good. I'll try and get this person to move from the camera in just a moment. As Rockway up to Johnson at the red line. Sends it in, deflected down. Now back out comes McGill Diaz. Wraps it all the way around in the Prowlers zone. Rockers try and set it in front. Millette couldn't skate into it. Cody Oakes with a look to the net, takes the shot, blocked by Reggie Millette. Sliding, and he gets taps from his teammates on the bench. Now Oakes, diving play by Millette, able to knock that puck away. Lockhart trying to take it from Milam, able to do so. Comes all the way around the boards. McGill Diaz kept it in. Tip behind the net. Gullo trying to slip his way through, couldn't do it. Lockhart goes off the boards, and McGill Diaz just did not keep it in. He'll try and dump it back deep. A gutsy defensive shift for the Prowlers as they were hemmed into their own end. A couple of big plays from Reggie Millette. Tipped out of the zone, and now Federley skates in with it. Federley dropped it off. Scantleberry shot. That one stopped and rises up out of play as Babin got a piece. Maybe it was Babin, maybe it was Jamie Bussell standing right in front looking for the deflection. Either way, we stay scoreless. Only one shot on goal credited so far in this period. Now they will give Scantleberry that one right there. So 2 shots in this period, both for Port Huron. Avery Smith tried to go to the net, lost the handle. He and Heinzel run in together to the backboards hard. Prowlers work out. Scantleberry steps around his man. Scantleberry tried to center. Smith was down. Here's Thelstrom a drive, and he just missed it wide. Federley left it there in the corner for Bussell to scoop up. Bussell cycles it deep. Scantleberry loved it down, and Federley the next to play it, so they call a hand pass against the Prowlers. So that will stop play. I did not see what happened behind the play, and now Wells going after Thelstrom. I didn't see what happened behind the play that led to Avery Smith down on the ice. Adam Heinzel trying to step in between and play peacemaker. And now behind the net, Babin has a hold of Tucker Scantleberry. And now Babin gives a shot to Scantleberry with his glove hand. Heinzel trying to get after Wells. They'll wrestle them apart. We will see what the penalties are. Everybody separated now. At the very least, I believe Wells is going to the penalty box. He and Thelstrom having a conversation as they both head over that direction. They'll both step in. And we'll see if anything else comes of it. And it feels like when you get to these games, the battle of I-94, teams who really don't like each other. This can happen at any moment. And finally, the spark has hit the gunpowder. Scantleberry getting it from the Motor City bench, and Trevor Babin, who came all the way out of his goal crease. Now Babin's number is up on the board. I think the Prowlers are going to get a power play after all of this. Babin's number, the only one up there. So it looks like Port Huron will go to its 4th man advantage of the game. And they are currently battling Let's Go Prowlers and Let's Go Rockers chants. Soterios Karageorgis is going to serve the penalty. Actually, Karageorgis is leaving, and Chris Buys will go serve it instead. Face off deep in Motor City territory. Finally, we look set to go on a big Prowlers power play. Their 4th of the night. They have not been shorthanded, and Matt Graham wins the face-off straight back. But Johnson had trouble with it. Bussell able to wrap it deep. Or at least he hit Gullo with it, and Gullo sends it all the way down. All 3 players, Ludwig Thelstrom, Tristan Wells, and Trevor Babin, get 2 minutes for roughing. Bussell works up the boards. Down to Federley. Down low, Graham. Goes all the way around the cage. Out high, Bussell to Federley. Johnson looking in Bussell's direction. Now Bussell and Federley switch spots. Bussell and Johnson. Rivers knocked it off of Bussell's stick. Here comes Rivers shorthanded. Johnson came back to make the defensive play. Both of them go tumbling into the boards. Fans want a penalty that they won't get. Here comes Bussell back up. Graham works in. Down low, Bussell deflected it. And Babin made the save. It's cleared out of the zone. 49 seconds left on this Port Huron man advantage. It's Trevor Babin with his first penalty of the season. He accrued 82 penalty minutes last season, which was by far the most by a goaltender. 30 seconds left on this man advantage for Port Huron. They have gotten 1 shot to the net. Frazee trying to spin on Miguel Diaz in the corner. They dig away. That's lofted down ice. That will likely take care of this rest of this Prowlers power play. When you play a team so often, typically it's the penalty kills on both sides that benefit, and the defenses that benefit. Here's Scantleberry working back in, all the way around the net. Scantleberry, Lockhart a shot, fought off by Babin, and Smith starts a counterattack, looking towards Oakes. Oakes couldn't reach back out for it as a sliding Nusiainen came all the way out of his net. To poke it away, Buys bounces it over to the far side. Puck loose behind the cage, centering feed, Nusiainen the save. And as Buys was right in his kitchen, Nusiainen able to hang on. And now we have more trouble. I can't quite see what's going on down there. Players are tied up. Prowlers unsuccessful for the 4th time on the man advantage tonight. And we stay scoreless. Looks like everybody is going to be separated without further incident, so we will take a break here on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Well, back here at Big Boy Arena, we have penalties up on the board on both sides. And I also just got a t-shirt thrown at me during the t-shirt toss, so we're all getting involved in everything going on tonight. Looks like it will be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Avery Smith and Reggie Millette both accrue roughing minors from whatever happened over there in the corner. Again, I can only see about as good as you guys can here on the camera. It's unfortunate we don't have a good vantage point, but it's such a small building, so it's tough to get a good vantage point here of everything that's going on the ice. But we make do. And 4-on-4 begins with Gullo and Graham at the dot to take the face off. Eli Rivers lined up right behind Gullo. But Graham wins the draw, and Parsons sells it down behind his own net. It's Parsons, Graham, Sim, Johnson for the Prowlers, Gullo, Rivers, McGill, Diaz, and Milam for Motor City. Here comes Graham, takes the shot, punched out by Babin, and McGill Diaz able to work it up towards Gullo. Couldn't bring it in cleanly, though. Parsons sent it back deep. Milam. To reverse to Gullo. Federley came flying in off the bench to disrupt the pass. Now Johnson has the puck, turned it towards the cage, comes off the corner boards for Sim. Sim leaves it. Parsons works down the wall from the outside, knocked down by Babin. Parsons looking for the rebound, just swiped at and missed. And Rivers behind his own net as both teams make some changes. Rivers reverses to Milam, and now to McGill Diaz. Up towards Rivers. Rink wide feed finds Milam. Weaves his way in. Fed it over in Gullo's direction. Now across looking for Rivers. Now that was in front of him, so Brett Lockhart able to scoop it up for the Prowlers. Lockhart's touch pass missed its intended target. Campbell off the back wall. McGill Diaz up to Oakes. Chased by DC. Heinzel able to poke it away from Oakes. Oakes went tumbling to the ice. Prowlers have a 3-on-2. Here's DC, a shot off of Babin's glove. As fans were looking for a penalty when Oakes was upended. And I think the reason for no call is that the puck was right there in his skates and Heinzel was playing the puck. Tellstrom couldn't dance his way through. We're back to 5-on-5. DC works into the offensive zone. Here's Millette trying to handle the puck. And now Millette on the half wall. Up top, Parsons a shot. That one just whistled wide. Scantleberry couldn't clap it back towards the net on the rebound. Tellstrom at the point. Down towards Millette on his backhand. Poked away. Parsons back towards the cage. Blocked on the way through. Millette to the net, deflected, and gloved down by Trevor Babin. We get some action in the 4-on-4. No goals. Prowlers up on shots in this period. 8-1 now. And 38-13 for the game. Now this face-off will be to Babin's right. Just before the midway point of period 3, still searching for our first goal of the game. We've played nearly 50 minutes. Graham and Gullo for this face-off. One back by Gullo. Colton gets it out of the zone. Lockhart chasing after it. Bounces it around to Brockway. Up in Graham's direction. Gullo got in the way of that pass. And now Johnson fires it over to Luke James. Johnson bounces it off the boards and deep. James tied up with Blaisdell. Rivers looks to skate out with it. And now Colton from the outside takes the shot, kick saved by Nuciani, got the rebound too. That's still alive. And a block shot there from James. And then Graham gets down to block another. Worked out high, Blaisdell. Colton, one-timer, knocked down in front. Puck is loose at the top of the crease. Players battling for it, and Johnson grabs it in the corner, sends it up to James, kicks off his skate, and to Colton. Chaos in the Prowlers' end, and they get out of it this time. Bussell up to Stiles. Had it knocked off his stick. Parsons came flying in to keep Kara Georges from doing something with it, and he gets it deep. McGill Diaz. Bounce it up to Tellstrom. Took a hard hit from Austin Federley. Now Bussell slips his way in. Bussell in front, scores! Jamie Bussell finally breaks the ice, and the Prowlers have a 1-0 lead with under 8.5 to go. And it was just a pass to the middle that hit off of a rocker skate, and it fooled Trevor Babin. And in a game like this, that's how you'd expect the first goal to go in. A game where the goaltenders have been so good all night long. You'd expect a bloopy goal, and that's exactly what we got. It's Jamie Bussell's 7th goal of the season and 6th as a Prowler. This is game number 15 for him with Port Huron. And finally, we have found a goal. Reggie Millette dropping it back for Adam Heinzel. Prowlers look to work it up. Looking for some more. A long-range feed towards Millette was tipped in by Milam, so no icing. Millette and Milam cancel out. Tellstrom tried to make a pass out, missed his target. Johnson to the net. That one knocked down in front, and Frazee stopped on the doorstep by Babin. Brockway down to Frazee. Lost the handle, and it's pitched over to Wells. Has McGill Diaz hustling to join him. Plenty of Prowlers back. And Wells outside try, punched away by Nuciainen. Brett Lockhart starts up with Johnson, one-on-one against Campbell. Johnson steps around. Johnson stopped by Babin. Johnson still with it, in front of Graham. He scores! That's .500 for Matt Graham. And the Prowlers take a 2-0 lead. Graham becomes the 4th player in league history to 500 points. And it's not one of his patented assists, but it is the 10th goal of the year for Matt Graham, 148th of his FPHL career. He extends his point streak to 7 straight games, and just like that, 2 quick ones for the Prowlers. They are up 2-0 here in the third, and Nick McGill-Diaz has gotten himself tossed from the game. Oh boy, Trevor Babin made a great save on Alex Johnson, but Johnson stuck with it. He found Graham coming down the middle of the ice, and Nick McGill-Diaz making an early exit from this game. It looks like the Prowlers will now go to the power play. Rockers unraveling right now. And a big congratulations to Matt Graham. And a big goal for the Prowlers. They now have some insurance and a two-man power play, their fifth man advantage of the game. Here's Frazee working in. Frazee trying to make a pass. Puck's loose in the crease, pops up in the air, and ends up in the corner. The Prowlers had a little 2-on-1, 3-on-1 down low. Millette over to Lockhart. Battles ensuing in front involving DC. Now the Prowlers spread out. Here's Scantleberry downhill, takes the shot, gloved down by Babin, and sent off the glass and down ice. 45 seconds gone on this Port Huron man advantage. Brett Lockhart into the offensive zone. Slows down, gives it back to Scantleberry. Lockhart. Now Scantleberry again, trying to force it down the wall. Instead, it's Colton poking it out. Here's Josh Colton shorthanded, looking for Smith, sent it there, and it's caught up in Scantleberry's equipment. As Tucker Scantleberry able to make the back check and block away that pass. 37 seconds left on this Port Huron man advantage. Under 6 to go in period 3. Prowlers get 2 goals in 1 minute and 8 seconds from Jamie Bussell and Matt Graham. And they have a 2-0 lead here in period 3. Austin Federley in no hurry. Final seconds ticking off this Prowlers power play. Federley gets it up to Luke James. James one-handed along, lost it, and Graham comes back for it. They're back to 5-on-5. Graham makes a move, hands off for Bussell. Bussell a shot, rose it too high. Luke James heading after it. Buys now for Motor City to Milam. 5 minutes left to go in regulation. Milam, headman feed off of Heinzel's skate. Nusiainen all the way out to play it, and he passes it off for Thelstrom. And now Stiles has to recollect that puck as it went off his stick. Pass ripped across, knocked out of the air by Wells, and Nusiainen leaves it for Thelstrom behind his own net. Frazee had Millette at the far blue line. Now he gets it to him. Millette back to the top. Shot by Frazee. Didn't get much on it. Passes a little bit in front. Steered easily to the corner by Babin, where they battle there. Rivers pulls it out. Rivers heading after it on the far side. Gets back to it. Rims it all the way around. Nusiainen plays it over to Brockway. Trying to spin away from Thelstrom. Here's Gullo with the puck. Gullo down low to Colton. Back in front. Knocked out of the air. And they score. Finally put home by Matthias Thelstrom, it looked like. And Motor City back within 1 with under 4 to go. And Matthias Thelstrom really the only rocker on any kind of a hot streak offensively. Spoils the shutout bid for Valtteri Nusiainen. Gets his 4th of the year, but he is at a point in 4 of his last 5 games. Did not play last weekend though against the Danbury Hat Tricks. Rockers certainly could have used him. All of a sudden, we're back to a 1-goal game. This one is not over yet. Doug Blaisdell looks to send it back in. Parsons lost an edge. Sent in front. Kuhn kicked at it. But set lands on Boussel's tape. Scantleberry sent a floater pass. It's knocked down. Blaisdell chased by Federley. Versus up the near side. Gave it away. Scantleberry shot kick save by Babin. Parsons back in his own end. Launches it all the way up to Scantleberry at the Rocker blue line. Scantleberry from the outside missed it wide. Stiles fresh off the bench, able to follow it up and keep the puck in. Stiles couldn't control it, so out comes Kara Georges. Scantleberry flies back to take it off his stick. And Tucker Scantleberry heads off the ice to get a change after an active shift from him. Milam across to Rotundi. Working his way up, tipped in by Wells. Graham recollects report here on Brockway. Has to head back after that puck. Just a soft toss out. And Stiles picks it up on the other side. Stiles with a shot. That was blocked. It was Rotundi who was back from Motor City. Now Stiles taking some punishment from first Smith, then Wells. Parsons keeps the puck in at the line. Frazee to the net. That one knocked down on the way through. Milam able to rescue it. Now Wells had it knocked off his stick into the Rockers bench, out of play. And now things heating up a little bit more. We will take our final timeout. 2:01 to go in regulation. Prowlers with a 1-goal lead.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We invite you to tune into our next broadcast. That's tomorrow, Saturday, January 25th, when the Prowlers host the same Motor City Rockers. Puck drop is scheduled for 8:05 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 7:50. Pardon me. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Well, here's another wrinkle to this game. Reggie Millette is in the penalty box, 2 minutes for roughing, and nobody is in there with him.
And last play was on the Prowlers, number 38, Reginald Millette.
So the Rockers will get a power play for essentially the rest of this game unless they score to tie it. A 1-goal game, their first power play of the game. And it comes in the biggest moment. And off the face-off, Luke James, they will send it all the way down. Rockers work back in. Here's Rivers stopping up. Now Rivers, Babin to the bench. 6-on-4 attack for Motor City. Blaisdell over to Colton. Back up top to Blaisdell. Rivers fires it across to Colton. Blaisdell one-timer. Saved by Nucian. It's loose in the crease, and they blow it dead. No goal. Steve Gowdy waved it off immediately. He blew the whistle before the puck entered the net. And the Prowlers survived that one.
That was a no-goal call. No
Stays 2-1. Empty net for Motor City. Taking another media timeout. Maybe one more. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network.
EDA, providing local business support for over 70 years. And helping to boost our region's workforce, retain and attract talent. Working to grow the local economy and the flow of money into our community to help businesses be profitable and successful. Focused on improving the region's economic strength and quality of life for residents. To learn more about the EDA of St. Clair County, visit edascc.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Back here again at Big Boy Arena. No goal. The whistle was blown before the puck entered the net. So it's still 2-1 Prowlers with 1:21 left. And the Rockers will be on a power play that whole time unless they score. Trevor Babin is on the bench. It's a 6-on-4 attack. And they set up off the faceoff. Blaisdell gave it down to Colton. Looking to the net. Back off to Blaisdell. Plenty of traffic in front of Valtteri Nusiainen. Blaisdell to Colton. Rivers. Across to Blaisdell. Sent it on. Save made by Nusiainen. Bounced up in the air. Bussell couldn't bat it out of the zone. They dig away for it. Bussell sends it all the way down. Just past the empty net. Blaisdell scoops it up. Fresh Prowlers heading off the bench. Nusiainen rims it up the glass. Knocked down by Gullo. Sent up to Blaisdell at the point. Gives it down to Rivers. Looking towards the net. Sent it across. Looking for Tellstrom. Not in his wheelhouse. Blaisdell to Tellstrom. In front. Save. Actually, that one didn't get all the way through. Now Colton a shot. He scores. Josh Colton let it go. Power play goal for the Rockers. And we are all tied up with 18.7 seconds left. And for Josh Colton, he snaps a 6-game goal drought. His 5th power play goal of the season. A 6-on-4 attack for the Rockers. They get 1 power play tonight, and they make good on it. And we may be 18 seconds away from overtime. And the fans here going nuts here at Big Boy Arena. Oh, and they blew it down. Nusiainen wanted to play that dump, but the referee with the quick whistle. Well, Blaisdell and Wells get the assists on the goal by Colton. 8.3 seconds now. Federley is able to chop it out. That goes all the way down. And that will be icing with 0.2 up on the clock. So we might just have one more face-off as a formality. Actually, let's see if they put up there. They're going to leave it at 0.2. Looks like they will. We're going to get overtime here. So the Rockers battle back from 2 down in the final 4 minutes after the Prowlers scored 2 to break the ice in this 3rd period. We're tied at 2-all, and we head to overtime, and why not? This has been a spectacular game all the way through. And we will get 5 more minutes of it, overtime, when we come back.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Overtime here at Big Boy Arena between the Prowlers and the Motor City Rockers. Will Wiggleman still with you on the PHP Network. Well, the Rockers have not had a game this season that has ended in overtime. They've gone past regulation 5 times, but all 5 of them have gone to a shootout. Meanwhile, the Prowlers have gone beyond regulation 7 times this season. They have 1 overtime winner, and that was off the stick of Alex Johnson against the Mississippi Seawolves back in December. This game was scoreless. Deep into the 3rd, Jamie Bussell and Matt Graham scored 1 minute and 8 seconds apart. Then Matthias Tellstrom got one back with under 4 to go, and Josh Colton with 18.7 up on the clock tied things up with a power play goal. Prowlers won the shots battle for regulation 45-19. They send out Federley, DC, and Millette to begin overtime against Tellstrom, Colton, and Blaisdell. And we're underway in the extra session. Reggie Millette, the one who was sitting in the penalty box when Colton scored. Tellstrom gets the first shot on net, and it's gloved down easily by Valtteri Nusiainen. Looks like Prowlers making a quick change here. Joel Frazee comes on to replace Stefan DC. It's Frazee, Federley, and Millette now. Tellstrom works up the wall. Down low looking for Blaisdell. He couldn't get a touch on it. They rim it all the way around to Doug Blaisdell. Blaisdell forced out of the zone by Federley. Blaisdell gets it back from Colton as Josh Colton heads to the bench for a change. Gives it to Gullo. Quickly up looking for Rivers at the Prowler blue line. That didn't work. Rivers first on it though. Rivers behind the net to Gullo. Across to Milam. Drive blocked by Frazee. Now Rivers blind pass in front. Couldn't find Gullo. Nick Gullo first on it. Forced out of the zone by Frazee. And now Milam works up. Working on Johnson. Milam had it poked. Gave it back to Gullo right down Main Street. Down in front. Gullo scores! Nick Gullo as the overtime winner, and the Motor City Rockers come back to stun the Port Huron Prowlers tonight. And in his return to the Rockers, it's Nick Gullo who gets the OT winner. And Port Huron blows a 2-goal lead in the final 4 minutes to fall tonight by a final of 3-2. And the biggest crowd I think the Rockers have ever seen on hand tonight to experience it. And Gullo with his 6th goal of the year. He was selected in the expansion draft by Monroe, traded to the Dashers before the season, went inactive, then traded back to Motor City on Wednesday when he was activated and he is the OT hero tonight in his first game back at Big Boy Arena. Post-game show is next here on the PHP Network.
Let's go! They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Back here at Big Boy Arena, Prowlers fall tonight by a final of 3-2 as the Rockers come back in a stunner. Port Huron does pick up a point, but still behind the Motors, or still fall tonight as the Rockers get their second win of the Battle of I-94 this season in their seventh game, pardon me. We go back through this one goal by goal. We start late in the third, under 9.5 to go. Jamie Bussell tried to send a pass out in front to Austin Federley, who's moving down the left wing side. And it went off of a rocker, ended up in the back of the net, and Bussell finally broke the ice as Trevor Babbitt and Valtteri Nusiainen were perfect up to that point. A minute 8 later, Matt Graham gets his 500th FPHL point off a pass from Alex Johnson. 2-0 Prowlers. And stayed that way until there were under 8 minutes left. Matthias Tellstrom able to put the puck in the back of the net. Now Tellstrom, the former Prowler, makes it 2-1, under 4 to go. Rockers pull Babin for the extra attacker, and Josh Colton sends a shot through traffic that finds the back of the net. And that tied the score. We went to overtime, and Eli Rivers found Nick Gullo on the backside. And Gullo able to score the game winner tonight in his return to the Motor City Rockers. They announced in the building the third star was Gullo, second star Babin, first star Colton. Although on the league website right now, I see third star is the Rockers celebrity player Zach Pearson, second star Matthias Tellstrom, and first star Nick Gullo. Slice it however you want. It is a Prowlers loss in a game that they held a 2-0 lead late. These teams will battle again tomorrow night at McMorran Place. We hope to see you there, but if you can't make it, we hope to see you here on the PHP Network. When we come back, we will, first let's take one last look at the game stats. Prowlers heavily outshoot the Rockers tonight, 45-21. They go 0 for, though, on their 5 power plays, and that turns out to be a bigger story than the Prowlers were certainly hoping for, as the Rockers score on their only man advantage of the game. And despite with the Rockers having 3 times more penalty minutes than the Prowlers, Port Huron unable to take advantage of the Rockers in the box. Valtteri Nusiainen sees his 3-start win streak come to a close here tonight. Your final tonight again, 3-2 for the Motor City Rockers. When we come back, we'll take one last look at the out-of-town scores, and then we'll wrap this one up here on the PHP Network.
welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
All right, so we're going to try this. They have cut my power here at Big Boy Arena, so I can't get my mixer to work, so we're just using the computer microphone right now to finish up the post-game show, I guess. Will Wiggleman back here one final time at Big Boy Arena, but they've cut my power here. We will take one last look at the out-of-town scores, and we start with the Hat Tricks and the Wolves. They're in overtime right now, tied up at 4 goals apiece. They've gone final in Winston-Salem. The Thunderbirds defeat the Venom 4-1. I won't go into too much detail again because they have cut my power here, so they really want to get me out of this building, I guess. But the Binghamton Black Bears are now up 5-1 on the Mississippi Seawolves. They've gone final in Columbus. Dragons win 4-1 over the Athens Rock Lobsters. The Bobcats maintaining a 1-goal lead on the Monroe Moccasins. They're in the third. In the second period in Topeka, the Zydeco up 3-1 on the Dashers. Of course, here Prowlers fall tonight by a final of 3-2 in overtime. Want you to tune in once again tomorrow night when the Prowlers and the Rockers do it again at McMorran Place. Puck drop scheduled for 8:05 p.m. Pre-game shows starts here on the PHP Network at 7:50. But we hope to see you at McMorran Place. That will be Silver Stick night and Mitz's birthday, so come celebrate your favorite cat tomorrow night at McMorran Place. But for now, I'm Will Wiggleman. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next time on the PHP Network.